So it's another year and Madden's rolling out again. I normally don't do a lot of Madden videos, and as a fan of football games, I just wanted to do something because I'm making a game, right? So why am I making a game? Well, this is the reason why. It's because of this franchise. That's a large part of my inspiration to take this into my own control and make a game. I've always wanted to be in the dev scene. I've always wanted to, work on games, and football games were my passion. I used to work at EA Sports a long time ago. I tried to get my foot in the door there as a QA tester, and that was kind of the first way to get in, unless you were a hardcore C++ programmer or you had a lot of experience in the game dev industry. And yeah, so I worked there for about a year, maybe less than a year, maybe 6 months in between jobs a long time ago. And I saw the culture. I witnessed, what it takes to kind of like go through a cycle of many of their games, many of their franchises, like Madden. I was on Madden. I was on NCAA. This was all the way back in 2004, so it was for the '05 series of Madden, NCAA, Tiger Woods. I think I did a little bit of NASCAR. But, long story short, it was a short-lived experience because, I really wasn't happy there. They really weren't treating people the best. They would fire a lot of people at, on one fell swoop, and you would be sitting next to your buddy, and all of a sudden they would just get tapped on the shoulder. And that's how it would actually work. You would have guys come by, managers come by, and just tap you on the shoulder. And you'd be like, okay, where's he going? He's going to the back room. And they would bring a handful of people there at a time, close the door, and all those people would be escorted out of the building. And that really wasn't a cool way to do it. So we fast forward, and I actually had an opportunity to work with the guys that were making the Joe Montana game. And I know a lot of people had a lot of negative feedback and stuff, and it kind of turned from one direction that we all thought it was going to be, which was going to be a AAA game, to basically it turned into a mobile game, and then it turned into some VR game, and it just disappeared. But I was on the initial game changers type of team to help out Damon grow, because the game, the trailer that they had looked really promising, and all the things that they were saying were all about sim and making a better game. And it was exciting to be on that team for as short of the amount of time that we were on it. But, that one fizzled out, and that was just another example of me wanting to get into the dev scene and making a better game, having a better experience. And, watching Madden 22 and these highlights and the reviews, and I don't really watch a lot. I've watched a few things. I don't really keep up with this game. I look at the gameplay for a minute or two, and I know that it's the same thing. And you can just tell because of the movement. The announcers are the same people, which I really don't care for. I don't care for the gameplay. Then you start seeing all the bugs, and it's just another example of them perpetuating this franchise, which from a business standpoint, it makes sense, because they're not going to reboot the entire series. I mean, these games take years and years and years and decades to fine tune and sharpen and make them what they are, what they become. A football game by itself, the nature of a football game, which I built with my Legend Bowl game, even though it's a 2D game, it's still a football game. And that game is pretty deep in my opinion as far as the gameplay goes. And making that part alone is very, very time consuming and challenging. And so you start with that, and then you add up all the pieces on top of it. And then all of a sudden, you're starting to build this machine, this beast of a game, right? And not only that, but you start tacking on all these features and bolting on all these modes and all these different, parts and pieces like Ultimate Team, franchise mode, which this year, franchise mode they claim is a lot better. I know people that play franchise mode are playing it, and there are a lot of things that they've added for franchise mode, and that's something it's a good sign that they're doing that. But that only makes sense if the gameplay is good. You look at my game Legend Bowl and people want franchise. They always want franchise. They always talk about franchise. They always mention that if it doesn't have, more than 1 year, then it's not going to make the cut. And every football game has franchise, at least the ones that made it. And even when I play it now, I'm still not 100% satisfied. I don't think I'll ever be satisfied, because making a football game, there's so much depth and complexity that can go into it to satisfy my needs, to make it what I want. So, I'll never be satisfied, but the thing is, my number one focus is gameplay. Now, I've been working on the game for almost 4 years now, in between other projects, but the majority of it is, the timeline's been 4 years full time. And it was my first game, and all this other stuff. So I probably wasn't as quick or as fast. Plus, it was a football game. But the majority of my time was spent on the gameplay, on the field. And the reason why I did that is because that's what I want. And that's what companies should do. The problem with that is, number one, you're working on a beast of a project, because trying to get the gameplay to be decent for a football game, that's a high standard you're trying to hit. You're trying to climb Mount Everest, and that's not easy to do, So from that standpoint, it's tough. From a business standpoint, you also need to make a return on your investment. So if you're just going to do gameplay, people look at that as a demo. They'll knock it. They'll say, you don't have franchise. You don't have the NFL. You don't have the best graphics. You don't have the best music, the best announcers. And they go on and on and on and on and on about modes. And that's not the business model that appeals to our fans. And this is what this video is really about. It's not about Madden 22. It's not about, dogging on EA. It's not about that. It's about the fans. It's about people that buy and support football games. And we all know that Madden takes a cake. Madden has the exclusive license on the NFL when it comes to consoles, at least. Not sure if they have it on the PC at all, but I know consoles they do. Maybe PC also, but not mobile. I don't know. Anyways, bottom line is that fans buy Madden. Why do they buy Madden? They buy Madden because it's the only AAA title. They buy Madden because Madden has a huge, long history of brand loyalty and marketing and NFL licensing, and they're a $1 billion company, right? So they're the only game. But every time the game comes out, and I'm already seeing it come through now, there are numerous, like millions and millions of people that aren't happy. They buy the game every year, but they're not happy. It's like, why are you buying the game? Why are you buying the game if you're not happy? Okay, well, you just want the game and you have money to spend or whatever reason, fine, then go buy it. But they're always complaining. They're not satisfied with the game. And the game, compared to an indie game, is going to be higher quality in a lot of areas. Maybe not gameplay, but in other areas it will have better graphics, lighting, sound, music, licensed music, right? Online, multiplayer modes, all these different pieces that will go into the game that are going to be a AAA, flavor and quality. But like I say, the root of it is bad. And if the gameplay is bad and they build everything on top of it, which has been the talk for, I'm talking 15 years, like 16, like 14 years, it's been a long run of just bad modes put on top of or decent modes put on top of a bad game. And I guess where I'm going with this is the support. Like, what's going on with the football fans? Like, do they understand that we're never going to get a game that's going to rival what they want and what they are searching for with a game like Madden or a AAA football game or even a 2K game of the past? We're never going to get that if there's not support. I mean, all of these other genres and industries and, crowds, like, they support games like crazy. I watch YouTube videos where guys are getting paid 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 200, $500. Just boom. People just throwing money in a live chat. They're not making anything. They're not making a game. They're not making any kind of content that's crazy. They're just talking on a live stream. And they're getting support. Kickstarters, support. The Gridiron guys, they got a tremendous amount of support and they didn't do one single line of code. And this isn't me complaining about why people aren't supporting my game. People are supporting my game. Now, it's not a huge number. It's a very small number when you compare it to any other, successful games out there. And I can't live off that number. And I'm hoping to grow that number. But in the end, people aren't supporting the game. Football fans do not support anything. And I'm not going to say like all of them, but the majority of them, they don't support anything else but Madden. So if you continue to support a game, two things here. I'm going to try to end the video really soon. Two things here. There are two parts here that make up what I'm trying to say. If you're going to support a game every single year, no matter how good or bad it is, and it's had decades and decades and decades and billions of dollars that they've spent on it, and they've collected from you and they've taken from you, okay? And it's not getting better in the core spot that it needs to get better, then why would you expect it to be any better the next year? They don't need to. You're basically giving them, it's just like my internet bill. I pay my internet bill every month. Sometimes it goes up every year. I have no other choice. So I have to give them the money. That's because I'm locked in and I want to use internet. And so if you just want to play an NFL game and you have to get the latest graphics on the latest systems and that's what you want to do, then maybe that's why you're paying them. But then, it's like you're going to complain every year also, and you're not happy. So if you're not happy, then what's it going to take to get at least another option? You're going to have to throw somebody, whether you, an investor, somebody has to throw money into another venture. And, there have been games that have been put out that they don't get the support that they need. The Gridiron guys did a great job, just like EA does. They do a great job of marketing. They sell people on ideas through videos, through screenshots, through whatever lies or fabrications they can do. They hype things up. Trailers for Madden look phenomenal, as you see on these videos, but the gameplay doesn't look like that, right? I wish that this video got to every single Madden buyer. Everybody who bought Madden 22, I wish this video just got to them, or who's going to buy Madden 22. And it just said, wait a second, take that money and don't spend it on Madden, or don't spend it on Madden next year, or don't waste it on MUT. Take that money and invest in another game. I know that if I had a chance to have the funding, a fraction of the funding that Madden has, I know that I would make a better game on the field. Guaranteed 100%, because that's just the way I am. Now, I may not have all the modes because I would like to focus on the gameplay. Legend Bowl, that's what I did. You guys would be surprised. Anybody who tries it, you'll be surprised how much the gameplay is fun and it's good and it's better than other games that are out there. You try it, The game's going to be coming out on PC, and then it'll be coming out on consoles. We don't have a date yet. It's coming very soon, though, on PC. So watch out for that. If you want to support, buy it for PC. Give it to a friend. $20. Probably less if I put it on sale. Buy the game. Why not? What's $20? I bought my son the other day $20 for a car for Grand Theft Auto, right? For one car. So people need to wake up. The people that have woken and have supported, I applaud you, but we need to spread the word. We need to get this stuff to be viral. We need to get people to wake up, and we need a better product. So that's what I'm trying to do. And for those of you who like Madden the way it is, I'm happy that you do. Guys like myself, I'm not happy. I don't think I'll be happy until they do an entire reboot of the game. And even then, they have an uphill battle to climb. So that's it, guys. It's early in the morning. I got to get to work. I got stuff to do, but wanted to drop this video to give my thoughts on the football scene. Okay, I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.